Hello, I'm Jennifer Witt, Director of ProjectManager.com. Hello, well welcome ProjectManager.com fans to our whiteboard session today on one of my favorite topics, managing project issues. What I'd like to bring forth are 7 tips on how to get action and, more importantly, cure selective amnesia. We've all seen it before. The phrase is like, I thought we talked about that. Didn't we agree? Why are we doing this again? So selective amnesia sets in on issues that are occurring on your projects, or maybe things aren't even talked about at all that are occurring. So these are 7 tips we found to get action and get things resolved. Number 1, create a register. You need some way to log issues on your project, something that's easily accessible. So a little different than managing changes, where changes maybe aren't logged, maybe people are doing things or adding scope to your projects but not logging it. Here we find that in this one, people begin logging issues and it becomes a big long scroll of issues that never really happens to anything. So number 2, we want to create the register easily accessible so the people who have access to it can log the issues. Number 2, log the issues and determine who can log the issues, how do they need to be logged, and when do they need to be logged so that you have an accurate count of the issues occurring on your project. Number 3, assign actions. We found that many times people, maybe they're logged, issues are logged, but there's no definition of who's resolving it, who's supposed to take action, and by when. So by assigning a specific person's name, so not just an organization, not just a business unit organization, but a specific person. And when are they supposed to get back on an issue? They're supposed to go check on something, evaluate something, assess it, and by when. Then monitor the progress. Is this person resolving this issue by this time? And if not, escalate promptly. So don't just let it drag and drag and drag, just logging the status that it's going on forever, but escalating it to the proper authority, which is defined in your project plan on how you manage issues. And then properly, more importantly, knowing when to escalate something and when not to, because sometimes you've seen it before where something gets escalated and everybody and their brother and the project and all the organizations get in an uproar over something minute. Well, that's probably not the best case scenario. And then things that are big, that are really impacting your project, they don't get escalated in time. So not only knowing to escalate promptly, but properly. And also assessing the impact. Sometimes issues can sit in the register and people can be aware of them, reporting status on them, and not really having an impact on the project, but you're still watching them and monitoring them. But sometimes things can change and the issues can begin impacting your project more and more. So assessing the impact as you go along and always making sure that the items don't just get in a log that grows and grows and you're not paying attention to it, but seeing if there is some change in the impact to the project. Because over time, again, it could change. Number 6, approve the resolution. So if something does get resolved, making sure the appropriate people have evaluated that and approved that yes it is, because sometimes people will say that something's been resolved, you've seen it and it really hasn't. So making sure that that's not checked off as resolved, getting the appropriate people to really review it, approve it, and says it's okay. More importantly, close it out, get it off the log, close it out, forget about it, move on. That way you get action done, you remove the selective amnesia on your project, and you actually maybe can end up in that lower percent of projects that succeed instead of fail. So if you need any tips, tools, or techniques in managing your project issues and getting things done, and more importantly, getting rid of the selective amnesia on your projects, then visit us at ProjectManager.com.